Hi, how are you? So I saw you watch my videos. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. And the only thing you forgot to do is subscribe. So when you watch, please subscribe. Just let me know that you watched. The only way for me to know that it added value or for me to be encouraged to make more videos is if you subscribe. So if you subscribe, I will appreciate. So how are you? For real? How are you? How is your day? I'm well, and I want this to be very interactive. That's why I'm finding out and looking at you directly and finding out how you are. My name is Shiro. Have we met before? If you haven't met, nice to meet you. First of all, I want to shout out to one of somebody that DM me. Thank you. You know yourself. So how are you? I wanted to make a video today about coming to America. Coming to America. My focus is, it's not the coming to America, the Eddie Murphy video or Eddie Murphy movie. No, it's coming to America, transition between Kenya to America. Why am I saying Kenya to America? Because I live in America. I'm from Kenya. That's why. And I really want to be so real with you and to tell you my experience. My reason of making this video is to share my experiences, share what I've read, share the experience of my friends, to just help us make better decisions. You don't have to experience bad things to know that bad things exist, and that's the focus of this video. So coming to America, your transition, you've gone to the embassy. First of all, the day I went to the embassy, I'm telling you, it was cold, and there was one guard. Was it security guard that was there? He kept on making noise, telling us, oh, make a straight line, stand like this. I'm like, what is it? Can you just come here and stand and try and get this visa before you start making noise to us? He made so much noise. Is he still there? Those that went to the embassy recently, is he still there? If he's still there, I tell him, he remove this thing and come on the line and try. And I'm trying to think what I'm going to say. Will I get this visa? The air is tense. When I was at the embassy, the air is tense. It's quiet. The only person that is making noise is this security guard who is telling us, make a straight line. Anyway, you got your visa. Congratulations. I mean, you're coming to America. It still is the land of milk and honey. Don't let anybody lie to you. I know people that are saying, oh, if you make this and this, you can stay in Kenya. No, they're lying. If you get a chance to travel, I mean, hey, travel. You learn so much when you visit different places. You learn new culture, you learn new things. So it's important for you. If you get a chance, please, by all means, travel. So you got your visa, or you got your green card, you're on your way. So that's where I come in. When you get to the airport, you've hugged your people goodbye, kissed motherland bye-bye. You enter the check-in. The first thing they'll ask of you is your passport. Keep that passport. That passport is everything. It's your identity. It's like your ID. So, but I don't want to talk about the passport. I want to talk about the small things that we ignore. But those are the things that add up to bigger things. So my passport, keep it safely. But I'm not even going to talk about passport because they will ask you, and I'm sure by now you know that passport is like your ID. The same way a police will stop you and they'll ask you for your ID, you give it to them. The same way. So passport is very important. But let me talk about the address. That is the most important thing close to the passport. So you check in. The first thing they will ask you, what is your address? Where are you headed? You have to tell them where you're headed. You have to tell them your name and your address so that they send your luggage to your destination. So that by the time you get there, your luggage is also arriving. So you have to tell them the correct address. The second place they will ask you for your address is the port of entry. Your address and the passport are between your layovers. When you're connecting to another flight, they might ask you for your passport. But now at the port of entry, they will ask you for your address. Please make sure you have it written somewhere, you have it in your mind. And let me just say, let's not be overconfident. If you can write it somewhere, that would be so good. Write it somewhere. Write the address, where you're headed, the person that is hosting you. When you get the port of entry, they will ask you the reason why you're coming to America. Please tell them the same reason you told them at the embassy, because they're going to key in your information. So your reason for coming to America should tally with the reason at the embassy. Now, The address is important. If you don't know your address, or if you forget one letter or one word, because as you tell them, I'm going to, let's say 3900, they're keying in your address and they're seeing where you're headed, and then they're looking at your paperwork from the embassy, and they see the address you told them. So if you forget your address, they'll just tell you, Mom, step aside, step aside. These people don't joke. They don't have time. They don't have time to even tell you, oh, recollect your memory, what's going on, are you okay? No. They ask you, and they don't even look at you, they ask you, what is your address? Host name, you tell them, for example, Shiro, the address 39 or 44, they're keying in as you tell them. If you don't know, they tell you step aside. The next thing, they put you on the next plane, the next flight to Kenya. So they don't joke. My people, that address is very, very important. Everywhere you'll go, you will need that address. So keep it very close. Keep it in a way that you can reach for it anytime. If you cannot be able to pronounce their names, sometimes the street names are very hard, just give it to the officer who's asking you about your address. Just give him the paper, he'll read it for himself and key in that information. The next thing that you will need is your phone. Charge your phone. Make sure your phone is fully charged. As you plan life, sometimes things happen beyond our control. Your host might really purpose to come and pick you from the airport, but something goes wrong. They get into an accident or an emergency happens, and so you stay at the airport and you're like, oh, and they said they'll come and pick me, but I've stayed here for 3 hours, they're not coming. But if you had your phone, you will just go to WhatsApp, call, ask your host, what is going on? I've arrived. Or you can even communicate and say, I've arrived, I'm at the airport. They will tell you, stand this place, stand this place. Just make your life easy and make the life of your host easy. The other thing that you need in that phone, if you can, download the Uber app. Uber app is universal. The principles of Uber app work the same way they work anywhere in the world. So you can even get to the airport, your host is telling you, oh, I'm held up, I cannot be able to make it, and you just go back to that address again, put the address on the Uber app, and then call an Uber. An Uber will arrive there and they will take you. Do not think there will be a taxi waiting, but the best and sure way is to just have Uber app. So download the Uber app, and the way it works in Kenya, it works everywhere. So that's the second thing. The third thing you will need, you don't need a lot of communication on your way here. Like I've seen some people coming with luggages that have a lot of paper, or others come with things they're coming to sell. You don't need all of that. You don't need so many things. I have seen people that get here and at the airport, at the port of entry, they are pulled aside because they had a lot of paperwork. Because as your luggage gets to your destination, they're going to put it through something that can now tell them what is in your luggage. It's able to key in and see everything that is in your luggage. So if you have a lot of paper, like you have half of your suitcase is paper, just paper. I've seen people that have come with a lot of paperwork. I don't know what they are coming with to do here, but they are coming like to work, and they carried a lot of paperwork, and now because of that, they are pulled aside and they ask, what is all this in your bag? You try to explain to them. So I would say, make it easier for yourself, make it easier for them. If there's any paperwork you need to have, let people send it to you via email. You don't have to carry them in your bag. The other thing that I've also noticed, the people when they're flying, they're texting, they're telling people down here, oh, organize for me, do this, do that for me, do this, do that for me. And when they get at the port of entry, whatever they were talking about is screened. And there are many things that I know, if you've lived in America, I know what you are telling the other person that is out here. And it's screened. And they now know that you are planning to come and stay here for a long time. They pull you aside and they put you to the next flight to Kenya. So when on your way here, don't have so many things. Don't like brides. I don't know, please do this for me. By the time I'm arriving, I need you to do this for me. Don't do all that. The other thing that you don't need to do on your way here, please, I beg you, my people, this is social, but I really want you to think about it. I know that when we get free things, you get excited. And I've had stories that people go to the plane and they were served alcohol and they drank and forgot themselves. So when you get to the port of entry, they're asking you where you're going, what is your host name and the address, and you're like, nimelewa sana, and you're trying to pull those nonsense from Kenya. I'm telling you, this word don't joke. If you come here, you cannot coordinate yourself, you don't know where you're headed, you cannot speak audibly and loudly, they are putting you to the next flight. So please, alcohol is free, but you want it to cost your life. If you get to the port of entry and you're allowed in, there are so many places you can buy all that alcohol, and they are cheap. You don't need their alcohol. If you can just refrain, if your body cannot be able to contain a certain amount of alcohol, leave it alone, please. Just control yourself, leave it alone. It will not help you when you get here, because that alcohol is the definition between you getting in and not getting in. So what is the point? The other thing that I've seen, the fourth thing I lost count. The fourth thing is many people now, they tell the embassy they're going to Georgia, and then they change and go to see their friend in Chicago. The embassy knows you were going to Georgia, but now you've decided, you've talked to your friend in Chicago, they're saying, oh, come here first before you go to Georgia. Please don't do that. Make sure where you are going, you go there first. If you're coming to Georgia, come to Georgia first, then fly to Chicago, because there will be no, after you get in, you will not experience another port of entry. But your port of entry is where they stamp your visa to where you are headed. So don't tell them, I'm going to Georgia, but first of all, I'm stopping in Chicago, because they will ask, why did you just go to Chicago? And I've heard so many people that have now been removed from America because they think that to them is a lie. That to them is plain lie. You try to tell them, no, I had a friend in Chicago and they said I should just go there, so I came earlier so that I can go to Chicago and then go to Georgia. Please don't. Just come to Georgia, then fly to Chicago. Did you get help, my people? So importantly, and if you're a parent, you're sending your child here, remind them that self-control is very important. Whatever you carry in your luggage is very important. Your host address, their name and address is very important. Your port of entry, where you enter America, is very important. Do not go where you didn't tell them you're going. Did that make sense? If you show me some love, I will now come and do another video of how to live with your host. I've had many stories of how people have had issues with their host. I was hosted, so I can tell you how to live with your host and what to do and what not to do. But first of all, show me some love. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching and thank you for your time.